Welcome to Inside the Firm, a podcast dedicated to small business owners and hosted by entrepreneurs, Alex Gore and Lance Cayko. Each week, they take you on their journey of how to start, run, and grow a business by bringing you inside their architecture and real estate development firm. Get a behind-the-scenes tour of how these business leaders manage their clients and foster company culture while creating new and innovative projects. And now your hosts, Alex Gore and Lance Cayko.
And we are live with Lance Cool and Calm Cayko. I'm Al. Amazing Gore. That's what
New
I'm
pronouns just dropped. Cool and calm. Check
Yep.
me out on LinkedIn. Link in with me.
We have a great show for you. We're going to talk about billings, relationships, leveling up, and how to pass the A.R.E. in 2 easy steps. I have some insights for you.
Were you interviewing somebody from there? Is that
The head of NCARB, president of NCARB.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
So I need to cut that episode.
You need to cut that episode.
Hey, watch out for
Teaser.
that. That's going to be an amazing Monday morning coffee episode. I love it.
Yep.
Al Grill Gore. Al Grill'em Gore is what I call him.
Yeah, but more working as a win-win. But I the one thing that I did state,
But I just don't think you're asking like layup questions. That's all I'm getting at. Like,
No.
I trust that Al is actually like, pressing a little bit.
No.
With the end goal in mind of improving the whole thing. Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Bingo.
Absolutely.
Bingo.
And
Bingo.
then accountability, like I'm on a board, like it. We'll get into
Al
it.
Gore
We will
Gore.
get into the A.R.E. thing once the A.R.E. segment
There's not
of
even.
this.
I don't even know if there's enough space for Al to like fill up all of his pronouns with all the ones that are dropping today.
It would be a lot. It would be a lot. Lance, one of the things about running a business is that it is super difficult, and there's a million different choices that you
hard.
can make,
Uh-huh.
and also there's a million different solutions to that, to the questions that you have, right? So if you go to buildabettercompany.com, buildabetterco.com,
Yep.
you can look at our 5 steps, but you can reach out directly to me at akg@f9productions.com about how to grow your profit while increasing your efficiency so that you're not overloaded. And what I mean by that is that not only is there so much in the course that we have, but when there's experienced people in a group and there's a question, right? There's one question. There's 30 ways that you could do it. You could literally go on YouTube, watch a whole bunch of YouTube videos. You could go, research a whole bunch, read a bunch of blog posts, narrow it down to like your 5 different options, and then test those out. Or you could talk to your experienced group and be like, oh no, this is what we did.
Yeah.
Try that first.
Level up.
Literally taking 5 to 10 steps out of every decision.
Level up. I think the hardest
5 to 10 steps.
Here's the thing. The hardest part about finding that group is finding that group. And I'm here to tell you, the group at Build a Better Business Co. is that group. That's the one you can trust. You should go there. You should check them out. The proof is in the pudding. Al Gore over here co-running successful businesses that are difficult to run, like he said, but getting highly profitable, making it work. Contrasting, actually, what will be our first article here, and we're not going to jump into it, but AIA, October billings continue to soften.
Yep.
Yeah.
So do you have any reads?
Oh my gosh, do I have some reads? Yes. If you can't find the product data you're looking for, you might be using the wrong search engine. Broad searches result in consumer products, out-of-date information, and websites that hide or don't have the information you're looking for. If you need specifications, CAD or BIM, arcat.com is your search engine. Find and download the up-to-date data you need fast. arcat.com is free and requires no registration, so try arcat.com. That's ARCAT.com. Try those guys out today. Duratherm defines a category of all wood, completely custom hardwood windows and doors that deliver on your architect vision, and everyone knows it. That's why they refuse to rest on their laurels. And while Duratherm brand is built upon their expertise in wood windows, they are proud to announce the introduction of a clad exterior feature for their windows. Learn more at durathermwindow.com. Back to me, Al.
Back to you.
AIA, architectmagazine.com just published this today, Al. November 17th, 2023. AIA October billings continue to soften. Usually this is Al's corner of the show, but this one, I'm taking over this one because I saw it in the Entre Architect group, and it was like a little shocking. Not the best. So what we're looking at is, Al's got it pulled up on his screen too. Billings are down 0.5%. Project inquiries are down 4.9%, and design contracts are up 0.3%. But the big thing to mention here is that The American Institute of Architects monthly architecture billings index posted at 44.3 in October, dipping slightly below the score of 44.8 in September for the third consecutive month. The ABI score was under 50, indicating that a significant share of firms are seeing a decline in billings. So I think it's obvious, if this decline continues for November, then that's 4 months in a row, and I think you've checked off one big box for an architectural recession, because the definition of a recession from the economic standpoint, outside of the macroeconomic standpoint, is 2 quarters in a row. If you got declines, you're in a recession.
Yep, and I like how you phrased that, because you should look at the industry that you're in. Meaning, like, let's say throughout the 90s, pretend like there was no recession, but in your area of manufacturing and in your town, say all those jobs got shipped to China, you were in a manufacturing recession, and if that was your work type, it drastically affects your life. So the economy as a whole could not enter a recession, while this industry could enter one. And if that's, we might as well go to the next part. Inflation, consumer prices were unchanged in October. Core inflation rises at slowest pace since September 2021. So basically, if you saw a pop in the stock market, there was 2 reasons. One, it was the end of the fiscal year, so a lot of all the hedge funds had to reallocate their money that was coming in. They had to actually buy stocks. And then the second reason was that they think that the whole industry thinks that the Fed is done raising prices, because basically inflation is at 3. They want to get it down to 2.5, but they see the trends pointing down, so they're pausing. And yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of building up about things going down, as you're seeing with the 4 months there. Real estate is not moving.
No,
meaning like
it sucks. It's just stagnant. It's just completely flat.
Yep.
And there was no real crash. There was no real crash in prices. There was a crash in sales. Yep, year-over-year sales. I totally agree with that. I just want to emphasize again, though, the prices stayed. Why did the prices stay? Well, it's a hedge, and all of that good stuff. But I think you had an article that we aren't going to talk about this episode, but I was like, oh, gas prices have dropped below 3. Yeah, I've noticed it. It's cheaper to fill up. Maybe this is where it starts to loosen up. What were we going to say?
Yep. Well, it's not exactly like this, but sometimes you take things as an extreme to understand what's going on. Okay, let's say your house is worth $400,000, right? And prices like you said haven't dropped. But if you can't sell it, what is it worth?
Oh, exactly.
Like if you have a pen for $50,
yep,
that you bought a nice pen, but you can't sell it for anything, what is it worth?
Yep.
$0.
I love that. That's pure market. That's pure market relation.
Yeah.
That's just like how laying the market bare.
And to play devil's advocate, of course you could sell your house for $300,000, right? And someone would pick it up, a $500,000 home, but then you maybe don't have that much equity in it, and then you can't buy a house for it. So like you literally can't sell it. You cannot sell it, or else you'd be underwater and all that other stuff. So that's it. I'm hoping the higher for longer doesn't stay. Yeah, just because it's hard to get projects going and all that. We can briefly talk about, because I don't think it warrants a whole thing. Gas prices are down. They have dropped below $3 in 11 states. And then also student loan repayment is now really starting up. I think people are starting to, pay now. A lot of those payments can be anywhere from $300 to, $1,200. That takes a lot out of a large percentage of people's, pocket, which means, if you're spending just think what $300 a month, like, really is.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
For some people, for like me, it's all groceries.
Yep. And then for a family, that's like a week. That's like a week of
it's
groceries.
It's a week of groceries. Yeah, it is.
Yep. But $1,200, like, I don't know, like that's vacation. That's like,
it's a huge deal. That's what I'm saying. Maybe it'll loosen it up.
Yep.
That's what we need. We need to start loosening this sucker up, getting the grease going, and all of that stuff. And I think it's time for people to level up. So I have a question I'm going to read to you, Al. This was posted on social media at some point, okay? And it relates to the architects, okay? It's from an architect.
Yep.
Quote, there are days where You're moving the... Hold on.
Okay, I'm done.
Stop moving the show outline notes, Al Gore. Okay. There are days where I feel like this is more... Sorry. There are days where I feel like there is more money/profit in teaching architects how to do their job than to actually do the job of practicing architecture. The amount of emails I receive of webinars and course offerings for architects is getting to be ridiculous. There's so much we are supposed to know and keep up with. What practicing architect who doesn't work for a big firm with limited responsibilities has the time? And to take it further, those who teach tend to be the ones who had all the time to take these courses and learn, rather than the ones who were too busy executing and trying to watch the fees. True or false, Al Gore?
Is this from you or some anonymous source?
This is an anonymous source. This is not for me. I wouldn't post this because I live the opposite. Keep going. Please answer.
Okay.
True or
like
false?
I have to take a very selfish view, and one of the main things that our course does, Build a Better Co., and you know everything about it because it's based off of our firm, is actually becoming lean, reducing, and becoming efficient. Last Wednesday, we have our Wednesday meeting with the whole group, and one person said, like, hey, we didn't get into architecture to just, like, run businesses and manage numbers and all that. And it was a long conversation. And I wanted to, like, jump in. And a lot of times I just send them, like, little snips of thoughts that I have and stuff like that. Is like, do you see how that's how we reduced our KPIs to just the metrics that actually matter and the ones that you need to actually make decisions on? Because there's numbers about like one of the guys is just a single guy, and his KPIs, his profit and his revenue is getting to like the max that a person can handle.
For everybody who doesn't know what that means, it's key performance indicator.
Yep. So we're looking at profit, we're looking at your backlog, we're looking at your monthly revenue, blah blah blah. Anyways, I won't. So what I said to him is, hey, if you get up to this level of where you're making X amount of money, now you can make the decision whether you want to stay there or whether you want to hire, right? And then we'll tackle that. But the other thing too is what people don't realize is what you cut is just as important as what you add. So here's an example, Lance.
Yep.
You actually know this person. Let's not say their name.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. You can work out and be very strong.
Yep.
Right? It's factual. Like, you can be actually diligent and go all the time and work out and be strong. Are you going to get lean and fit that way, or do you have to cut your diet?
You can't have your cake and eat it too.
You probably literally, you probably have to cut your diet.
Yeah.
To shed weight.
Yeah.
Right? So the whole kind of what you said is those who, we're too busy executing, and trying to watch the fees. It's because you're not looking at it from a higher perspective. And I understand exactly where he's going to, which actually talks to what I was talking about in the beginning. Like, there's a lot of information out there.
Yeah.
And the way to cut through it is industry specific.
Yep.
So that you're not looking through a whole bunch of just generic explanations.
Yep.
About, a bank business runs
you're
at this.
streamlining your focus to your industry and your business so that you can then, so you're consolidating and making it digestible in a quick way.
Yep.
In an easy way, and then disciplining yourself to stay on top of that. And then also getting the metrics together and the systems together to replace yourself even further, right?
Yep.
Like, it's either you do want to replace yourself and take extreme ownership and of that whole process, or you don't and you just want to complain about it and not multiply. The people who want to just be solar architects, that's totally cool. But the complaints, if you have this complaint, it's falling on deaf ears even though we're addressing it. Like, all you're doing is complaining, but there's no, like, if you really want a solution here, you got to do those things.
Exactly.
And I love how it starts with the KPI.
Yep. And then it circled back to what you would say, like, cut your information down to the most specific so that you can get it done. Because then think about this. So Lance and I run an architecture business. I'll go for myself because you can just add on. Then I'm the one who runs that growth course. I teach at CU, and then we do the podcast and also on a school board. Lance can add on to that his fishing, the construction. He manages the construction side.
2 universities.
And then also teaches as well. So like,
2.
if you, and that's because it's streamlined.
Yes.
That's because it's streamlined.
And we had the guts to delegate, to take the necessary steps to delegate properly.
Yep.
Get our onboarding process down to a streamlined system. The way it's been working so far with our new hire is awesome. We get reports every day from him. If he got enough, if he had the proper tools and information for him to do his job, this has been one of the most streamlined onboarding processes we've had so far.
And here's actually the rub that actually gets to the heart of it. So let's say you bite the bullet and you're like, I'm gonna go to Build a Better Co. or just email Al and get started.
Or just start with Revit Rocket Ship.
Yep. If you have that. But this is what I think people's psychology is. I'm already at redlining. Now I need to add more on to that, like literally like go through a course.
Smart.
But the difference
I know where you're
is,
going with this.
okay, tell me if you do. The difference is once you start that course, cut this out.
Yes.
Reduce this. Now I'm at the same level of work or even less, but getting more results.
Yes. As you level up, you have to learn how to delegate more.
Yep.
You have to be able to learn how to do that and streamline it confidently.
Yep.
Here's the part that actually rubbed me the most wrong way about the whole statement.
Oh, okay.
And it took me a while to get there.
Yep.
I responded, by the way, and had a bunch of love, and even I think I sold a Revit Rocket Ship course for you, us on that.
Thank you.
My response, yeah. I got some DMs after that where people are like, I want to do that. How are you doing that? How are you doing all these things?
Mm-hmm.
And I gave us some advice. The part that rubbed me the wrong way was this part, this exact statement, which was, let's see here. The response, where does she say it? And to take it further, oh my gosh, where was it? Practicing architecture.
Just read the whole thing, and then
the amount of emails. There's so much you're supposed to keep up with. What practicing architect? Perfect. This is the part. What practicing architect who doesn't work for a big firm with limited responsibilities has the time? On what planet are you in a project manager, project architect at a big firm? Maybe you're a junior principal, maybe you're a principal, maybe you're an owner. Like in that cascading order.
What?
As you move up that chain, at what point do you actually have less responsibilities?
I don't know. I mean, I've only worked for one, and they were all working.
Here's all I'm getting at is, seems like the more I bite off by growing the businesses, the more responsibilities I have.
Yep.
I am not. Hey, we're only running a small to medium sized firms, and it seems like the bigger we get and the more we do, the more responsibilities I have. It does not seem like I have less.
Yep.
So like, what a false premise. Like the idea is, if I'm a one-person firm, I have the most responsibilities.
That's okay. I get what you're going with that.
Yeah.
I get where you're going with that. Also, everyone in our course doesn't work for a big firm. They work from 1 person to 7 person. And then there was one that graduated that was the head of a 33-person firm. So, those people have the time because they made the time.
Yes. So I think the assertion is correct that this person is making of, okay, if I'm a one-person shop and I'm doing all of the drafting, if I'm doing everything, I'm just doing everything. Mm-hmm. Yes, you have probably more responsibilities, workload-wise, time-wise, than maybe somebody who is a higher up who can delegate. That's your problem. Do you want to multiply and start delegating? Do you want to, or you just want to complain?
But there's also other strategies. Like that's one strategies out of a toolbook of strategies.
Yes.
Out of a toolbook.
That's my pointed strategy.
Yep. And I mean, we could go into a bunch of them too, but like, a lot of people just like her, because I heard you say her.
Yeah.
They are being overworked because of what's being asked of them. Trying to make the client happy and all that. And there's clear strategies to streamline that. There's clear strategies to streamline that. So, I think the feeling is there, and I think the solution is there. It's just not. It's literally just not burning the boats and jumping over to the other side.
Yeah.
Because that's what you have to do. Like, you have to pay some money. You got to set up some time that will then ease your life and then thus make you more money. But, like, you got to burn the boats and go.
Yeah.
Do it.
Tell us about this A.R.E.
Okay. There are 2 easy ways to pass the A.R.E. Tell me if I'm wrong or not. Okay. The first, this is from ncarb.org. See this little checkbox right here? 12% plus average pass rate increase for candidates using NCARB practice exams.
Okay.
I know I said this before, but everyone probably doesn't listen to every podcast and all that. They have made their own practice exams. It's from the same people that make the exams. They do it in the same way. Once you're done with that, they tell you what you got right, if you pass it or not, or what you got wrong and what you didn't get wrong. Step number 1, it seems like a 12% increase right there.
Hey,
okay.
take that step.
Step number 2, buried all the way down. Lance, can you see any correlation here? Can you see any correlation?
The incomplete versus complete, up to 99% complete. And yeah, so if they have most of their AXP completed, that looks like they're passing it.
So
which would make sense to me.
Step number 2.
Yeah.
So this is your experience hours. If you're less than 33% complete on this, your pass rates are 43%, 47%. There's multiple tests. 47%, 58, 60, 40%. Do not waste your time. Do not waste your money.
We have somebody that did this.
Until you are, I would say, over 75% complete. If you are 100% complete, here's your pass rates. You just heard the other ones in the 40s.
Wow.
76, 61, 70, 72, 72, 67. 47 to 70, 47 to 72, 40 to 67. I mean, holy cow, just don't take it.
Yeah.
Do not take it.
This is really good data that they put out. Thank you, NCARB. I like it. Yeah, I agree. Dude, we should, I'm going to take this back to employees, honestly, and say, like, don't. Like, you need to be
75%.
Well, don't waste your time. We're allowing you to go on billable time.
Yeah.
To go take don't do that. No.
You're wasting your money. You're getting frustrated.
Yeah.
A 43% pass rate. And here's my analogy that I didn't make because I didn't come to later. Because I did ask the NCARB president, like, why don't you not allow it? Don't allow it. And that might go against, like, well, what about freedom and people want to do it? And 43%. Right?
Too much freedom.
Okay. We don't allow because it makes no sense. Second graders to take third graders' tests. Some of them could pass them.
I know, yeah. We can make some rules. Like, just the right people need to be making the rules. That's it.
But this is like a second grader taking a fourth grader test. Like, 40% of the second graders will know what that math problem is.
This is like revealing.
But why do it?
Right.
Why do it?
Don't
and why
do
say,
it.
hey?
Well, what I was going to say when you told me to just hold on was I didn't take my test. I didn't start taking my test until I was done with the.
Probably me too. I would accept. Yeah, probably. Right?
Yeah. Yep.
Pretty sure.
Like exactly. We were just like, no, got to be done with all the hours. Like, what's the point? Like, what's the point? What's the point?
Well, the other thing too is then it's like, well, these take so long and you have to redo them. That's because you're taking them too early. That's because you're taking them too early.
That's a good counter argument. Yeah.
Bam.
All right. Speaking of tests, I think we should.
I'm gonna put this in. We have our onboarding process.
Yep.
And we have where they put where each year what hours are at, and I'm gonna say you can't take.
Do not
your test.
Don't even think about. No, not them. Not you. Them. Don't do it.
Yep.
We're not putting up with it. Speaking of
look
tests,
at that, just streamline someone's life.
Hey.
That whole onboarding process is in our course as well. That's a little heads up.
Is it?
Yeah, of course.
Nice.
Of course. So with that, I'm going to bring down the team for A.R.E. Jeopardy. Let's question number 1. Which of the following factors is not typically considered in the site analysis phase of architectural design? Is it A, solar orientation, B, soil composition, C, historical context, or D, window orientation? A, B, C, or D? All right, hold up what you got. You're going to have to write a little bit larger. B, D, and B? It is D. That is when you're actually designing. This is site
I agree.
analysis. Site analysis. Reading the questions.
Did anybody get it right? Jason, congratulations.
Number 2, in sustainable design, what is the primary purpose of using a green roof? Is it A, enhancing the building aesthetics? B, providing additional recreation space? You got it. C, reducing stormwater runoff? Or D, increasing energy consumption? CDC. It is C, reducing stormwater runoff.
Agreed. Who's in the lead? J-Boy, Ross. Number 3, in accordance with the International Residential Code, what is the minimum allowable tread depth for residential stair treads if a 3/4 inch nosing is also provided? Is it A, 10 inches, B, 10.25 inches, C, 10.5 inches, or D, 11 inches? In accordance with the International Residential Code, what is the minimum allowable tread depth for a residential stair treads if a 3/4 inch nosing is also provided? We have A, B, A. We've got the correct answer is A. Number 4, in accordance with the International Residential Code, what is the minimum allowed tread depth for residential stair treads if a 3/4 inch nosing is not provided? Is it A, 10 inches, B, 10.5 inches, C, 10.5 inches, D, 11 inches?
And yeah, maybe I heard this wrong. B was 10.25. C was 10.5.
Yeah. What do we got? Correct answer is D, 11 inches. Jason's the winner? Okay.
Where are we going to eat? Hefe's.
I was just there last night. Let's go.
They got different options there.
I will eat more chips. All right, if you like this episode, you know what to do. Leave us a positive comment, like, subscribe. We'll see you next week.